I'm JoeLumb. It's another Monday and another JoeLumb album review. Starting today, you can expect two album reviews. The first one I'm about to do will be all new, while the other one will be uploaded later today. Will be a re-upload from an album review I did over a year ago. Feel free to leave a comment, share this video, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell when you see a new video. You're more than welcome to check it out for yourself. 1 month ago, I done an album review of Poison's Open Up and Say Ah. That album was critically a commercial success. This week's album review, I cover Poison's next record, Flesh and Blood. This record saw the band transform its image and musical style as they attempted to establish a more serious stance other than being just the hair metal party band of the 80s, which was shown on albums like Look What the Cat Dragged In and the aforementioned Open Up and Say Ah. Parts of the album are darker and more serious, which includes topics such as overcoming hard times, missing loved ones, long term relationships, and mass social political disillusionment. However, other parts of the record still had fun topics such as sex, exhilaration from music and motorbikes, something Bret Michaels loves, and tongue in cheek poverty. Some songs on this record have a blues rock style. The songs were all written by Bret Michaels, Bobby Dahl, C.C. DeVille, and Ricky Rocket, and were recorded and mixed at Little Mountain Studios in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, with producer Bruce Fairbairn and mixer Mike Frazier. All of the songwriting, rehearsing, demoing, recording, and mixing were done between the latter half of 1989 and the early months of 1990. Bruce Fairbairn was a very busy producer in 1990. Not only did he co-produce this record, but he also produced AC/DC's The Razor's Edge, which would be released 3 months later after this one. If you look at the front cover art, it has the band's logo and album title as a tattoo on the arm of drummer Ricky Rocket. The cover was originally planned to have a slightly different version after being freshly inked with inflamed red skin with dripping ink or blood. However, that got banned in some markets and was replaced with the cover without the blood. Looking at the track listing, as I mentioned earlier, all the tracks were written by Bret, CC, Bobby, and Ricky. Starting with The Strange Days of Uncle Jack, clocking in at 140. Valley of Lost Souls clocks in at 358. Flesh and Blood Sacrifice clocks in at 440. Swamp Juice Solo, which was an instrumental piece, clocks in at 125. Unskinny Bop clocks in at 347. Let It Play clocks in at 421. Life Goes On clocks in at 447. Come Hell or High Water clocks in at 5 minutes. Ride the Wind clocks in at 350. Don't Give Up an Inch clocks in at 343. Something to Believe in clocks in at 528. Ball and Chain clocks in at 422. Life Loves a Tragedy clocks in at 514. And Poor Boy Blues clocks in at 5 minutes 19 seconds. Poison's third record, Flesh and Blood, was released on July 2nd, 1990. The album spawned two top 10 singles, Unskinny Bop and Something to Believe in, as well as other hit singles such as Life Goes On, Ride the Wind, and Flesh and Blood Sacrifice. The record was certified, as of this recording, 4 times platinum in both the US and Canada, and gold in the UK, and reached number 2 on the Billboard 200, number 3 in the UK, and number 4 in Canada. My overall rating for Poison's Flesh and Blood is an 8 out of 10. Their third studio effort was voted Best Album in both Circus and Metal Edge magazines, and Something to Believe in was voted Best Single/Song for both magazines as well. While not the party rock album that the band was known for, Flesh and Blood was a more mature, polished record Poison has ever put out. Unskinny Bop remains one of Poison's best songs, one of my favorites by the way, while power ballads like Something to Believe in and Life Goes On are still featured in the band's compilation albums. I dug the 5 singles that were released the most, but there were also underrated gems such as Valley of Lost Souls and Life Loves a Tragedy. In my opinion, Flesh and Blood is Poison's best studio album.